Hey, what's going on, people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video I'll be letting you know what updates were made to Borderlands 3 through today's hotfix. They activated the Supercharged Crystals event, which prevents crystals from losing their charge in the Guardian takedown. They improved Zane's Texpert mod by increasing the chance to recharge Sentinel cooldown and duration on kill from 15 to 35%. But they also buffed 4 weapons too, and they're actually pretty darn good. So that's what we'll be focusing on, and I'll be letting you know what happened to each gun, telling you where you can get them, and if it's a weapon that you'll want to go and get. We'll be counting down the top 10 shotguns tomorrow-ish at the usual time, so stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like, or hey, maybe even subscribe. That would be great, and let's crack into it. We'll go down the list, starting with the D.N.A, a melee 1 SMG similar to the Tsunami, which can only be obtained by defeating General Traun on Mayhem 6 or above. You fight around here in Desolation's Edge. Ever since its introduction as a Mayhem 6 plus weapon, the D.N.A proved extremely lackluster, but that feeling has finally blown away. It received a multitude of buffs which each add together to create a solid SMG. Its damage increased by about 1.5 times, its magazine now has more bullets in it, its projectiles move faster, it fires slightly quicker, and its reload time has been reduced noticeably. It fires numerous pairs of mini Cutsman-like projectiles which are fired out at weird angles and spawn as a random element, all except radiation. Because of that randomization factor, it can feel inconsistent, and it makes it impossible for you to hit enemies with what they're weakest to. Like a lot of melee 1 SMGs, it does deal splash damage, which means modes can get something extra out of it. However, it's like you're using the light version of the flipper or plasma coil. It's a base game alternative that unfortunately still falls short. Moving on now to the Ripper, which is the pick of the bunch for me, or at least my favourite, but still probably not the best. It's a dual SMG that can come in every element and has an increased chance to drop from Shiv, who you fight around here in Covenant's Pass. The Ripper received a decent damage buff to go with its unique effect bonus damage increase way back in June. The June buff was applied to encourage users to utilize its effect, which grants you double weapon damage on whoever you melee it with. Stabbing enemies with the Ripper will brand them with Death's Mark, leaving a visible bloody scent. The Ripper will shred through the health bar of any marked enemy, deleting them from existence in lightning quick time. Its base damage is really good now without even activating its effect, high enough to contend with a lot of SMGs, but its deadly blade helps it to go above and beyond. Because it comes equipped with a bayonet, it will boost your melee damage by 40% also, and you can even deal extreme amounts of damage utilizing just its knife. There is a noticeable delay between stabbing and when you can fire, which is my only hindrance with it. But the damage that comes with it is definitely worth the price, and it is an extremely fun gun to use. Now the SF Force, which received a remarkable buff, gaining in strength 4 times over. It's a DLC 2 melee 1 SMG that can come in any element, and can only be dropped by DJ Spinmouth around here in Skidmore Basin. The SF Force is extremely similar to the base game Spinner, but deals close to double the damage. It fires a single laser beam that is accompanied by elemental musical notes, which are randomly enhanced by its available elements. Changing its firing mode does something a little wacky. Other than changing the beam's element, it also reduces its damage, making the primary mode the one you'll definitely want to use. In testing, I found this gun to be lackluster at first until I switched its mode back, transforming it into another beast. Both the SF Force and Ripper would certainly be in contention to make an appearance in last week's SMG countdown if they were buffed prior, and are definitely guns you should go and get. Lastly, we end with the Malik's Bane, a melee 1 sniper rifle that can come in either fire or freeze, and has an increased chance to drop from Phoenix. You can find around here in the Splinterlands. The Malik's Bane for a long time now has been the bane of my existence, and it still is. It grew in power by about 3,500 points, which simply isn't enough. It still isn't good at all, with one shot struggling to compete with a single Sandhawk pellet. If you see this gun on the ground, run away, because if you look at it for too long, you will be cursed forever to have it drop in place of whatever gun you're farming for. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned of what happened in this hotfix and what happened to these 4 buffed weapons. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.